Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing a kind of controversial topic, and of course this topic has been the subject of several debates throughout the Ninjago community. The question at hand is, of course, which ninja is the strongest? Out of the core 6 members of the ninja team, which one should officially get the title of the strongest ninja? After thinking about it myself, and of course consulting you guys, the audience, I believe we have 2 ninja in particular that could very well hold the title of strongest ninja. Those of course being Cole and Lloyd. I feel like Cole is the strongest ninja in terms of physical, brute strength. I don't think any other ninja rivals him in that regard. I feel like by default Cole is the physically strongest member of the ninja team. On the other hand, you of course have Lloyd, the green ninja, descended from the first Spinjitzu master. In terms of elemental powers, Lloyd is probably the strongest on the team. Even though it's been a while since Lloyd has been in his prime in terms of elemental powers, his current power of energy is still fairly strong. And once again, he is descended from the first Spinjitzu master, so I'm sure in terms of elemental powers, his strength is pretty much unmatched by any of the other ninja. But then of course the question arises, well, which one of them would win in a fight, Cole or Lloyd? Who officially is the strongest ninja on the team? Because you can't have 2, there can only be 1. Like I said, this question has been debated by fans for several years now, and the more I think about this potential matchup, the more I like it. The more I think about it, the more I actually want to see a fight between these 2 break out in the show. In terms of context, I have no idea why these 2 would be fighting, but it is a matchup that I am very intrigued to think about, and once again, I do kind of want to see these 2 go all out and fight each other. Who is the definitive strongest ninja? Why would a fight between these 2 ninja be so awesome to see on screen? Well, I have a couple of reasons as to why a fight between Cole and Lloyd is on the top of my Ninjago wishlist. For my first reason, as mentioned, they could rival each other's powers beautifully. Cole is by default the physically strongest ninja, in terms of pure strength. I don't think anybody is going to be debating that right there. But Cole also has a large amount of elemental power stacked into the earth element itself. You might remember that Cole has a little thing called the Earth Punch, which of course first appeared in Day of the Departed. Now the Earth Punch is apparently exclusive only to Earth Masters. Makes sense, because it's called the Earth Punch, obviously. But this type of elementally charged punch does not exist for any other elemental master. It only appears for the earth element, which is quite strange to say the least, but still that does give Cole an advantage. The Earth Punch is a great asset for Cole's character, and combined with his raw physical strength, it is quite a devastating attack. Cole has also been seen using what's known as the Spinjitzu Burst in Master of the Mountain. He has not used it since. However, if the environment of the fight between Cole and Lloyd was coincidentally surrounded by earth material and raw earth as it is, I feel like the battle would be pretty much decided already because Cole would have access to the Spinjitzu Burst. Once again, it's not super clear if the Spinjitzu Burst is only exclusive to Earth Masters, but if that's the case, then that's another power that Cole has over Lloyd. So when you think about it, Cole is not only stacked in terms of raw strength, he's also pretty powerful when it comes to his element as well, because the Earth element can do a whole bunch of crazy stuff that the other elemental powers potentially can't even do. But then we get to Lloyd and his elemental powers. As mentioned, while Cole's elemental powers are very strong, Lloyd's powers are directly descended from the first Spinjitzu master. At one point, Lloyd had access to Golden Power, which is pretty much the strongest element known to man, and while Lloyd does not have access to that power anymore, the leftover power of energy is still very powerful in its own right. We've seen Lloyd use energy effectively throughout the entire series, launching massive energy balls and massive defensive techniques, which Cole's powers are quite restricted to. I'd say Lloyd has a pretty good chance defensively and offensively, and I feel like his elemental power has a lot more range as opposed to that of Earth, which is pretty much set in stone, no pun intended. I feel like the clashing of these 2 elemental masters would be interesting to see, both in terms of their power and also their characteristics. That's a nice segue into my next point. Both of these characters have been considered to be leaders of the team at some point. Cole was the unofficial leader during the beginnings of Ninjago. Admittedly, the show really didn't touch on his leadership all that much. However, it's been suggested in outside material that Cole was indeed the leader up until Kai joined, meaning that Kai took over from Cole, and even nowadays he doesn't really show any of those leadership characteristics. not as much as Lloyd does. Lloyd is a very solid leader of the ninja team. He's been the leader ever since he became the Green Ninja, essentially, and he has made a name for himself in that role. Being the Green Ninja and being the leader of the ninja team, I feel like destiny is on Lloyd's side in terms of what he can and cannot do and how he leads his team. Not only would the clashing of their elemental powers be cool to see, it would also be fun to see two leaders of the ninja team actually battle it out for that ultimate goal of being the strongest on the team. And once again, it just makes sense to me. Two leaders clashing, we've seen that before in other media, so why not have it be in Ninjago as well? Another reason why I would love to see these two battle it out is that it's just a cool scenario to me. I've already talked about this in several videos before, but I hope that one day we could potentially see a Civil War-esque Ninjago story, where the ninja have to fight each other. We've seen elements of that before in past Ninjago stories, with certain members of the ninja team either going rogue and becoming villains, or we even saw Cole have a similar fight with Jay during Season 4, Tournament of Elements. So it's not like the Civil War aspect isn't there. What I'm proposing, though, is a full-on Ninjago Civil War style season. Maybe have Cole lead one team and have Lloyd lead another. With that scenario set in place, you could totally have a battle between Cole and Lloyd, an all-out battle to see who is the strongest ninja for real. And once again, that does pretty much play off of my other points too, with the personalities clashing. I really like that scenario. A battle between Cole and Lloyd would be super fun to see, especially if it's in a full-out Ninjago Civil War style season. At the end of the day though, do I think a battle between Cole and Lloyd is possible? I think it might happen, but I don't realistically see a scenario in which it would, unless one of them is mind-controlled, or as I mentioned earlier, if a Civil War style season breaks out. In terms of who would win that fight if they were to fight, it is hard to say. As a Cole fan myself, part of me wants to root for Cole, but I know that if they were ever to fight for real one day in the Ninjago series, it would totally make sense that Lloyd would win. He's pretty much the main character of the series right now, and I doubt that the Ninjago showrunners ever want to see him truly lose to another ninja, because I feel like right now Lloyd is very much established to be the strongest on the team. In terms of physical raw strength, Lloyd is not weak. We've seen him do some crazy stuff before, and especially when you combine that with his elemental power, he does create a very large threat to anybody that stands in his way. However, like I said earlier, you cannot deny that Cole's element allows him to do some crazy stuff, including once again the Earth Punch, Spinjitzu Burst, so on and so forth. I would love to see Cole come out on top in this scenario, but if I had to make a decision as to who would probably win and who is the strongest ninja on the team, I must say that Lloyd is pretty powerful. So that's going to pretty much do it for my thoughts here today, you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this. In what scenario do you think a battle between Cole and Lloyd would be possible? And if they were to ever fight for real in the Ninjago series, who do you think would win? Who will truly hold the title of the strongest ninja? Are you a supporter of Cole being the strongest ninja, or are you a supporter of Lloyd being the strongest? Or if you wanted to pick another member of the ninja team to be the strongest, let me know down below as well. Maybe you want to suggest that Nia would be able to battle both of them, because obviously after Seabound she is in her new NRG water elemental form, and I totally agree that right now she does have what it takes to be the strongest on the team. But let me know down below in the comments what you think about all this, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. That'll pretty much do it for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video. Once again, my name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.